Hey, what's going on, guys? It's ETA Prime back here again. You might be wondering why there's a can of Altoids on your screen now. This isn't just a regular can of spearmint Altoids. As you can see on the front, we have a micro USB, a switch, and another micro USB port. Now I know it's kind of hard to see from this picture, but I'll get to it further in this video. On the back of the tin are two micro push buttons sticking out here, and inside is a Raspberry Pi Zero W with buttons, a 2.4-inch screen, and it's loaded up with RetroPi ready to play. So this is really awesome. This is called the Minty Pi. They sold the PCB kits over on Sudo Mod for a little while. I guess they took the listing down now, but I was unable to pre-order it. I guess they sold out or they just took it down. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I was able to get my hands on a fully built unit. I contacted the guys over at Retro Gaming Now, a website that does custom Raspberry Pi Game Boys, and they sent one over for review. So I want to give a big shout out to them because I tried to get one of these kits and I could never hit the deadline. I always missed it by a few hours or even a few days. So let's go ahead and boot this thing up and see what it does. I'm just going to go over some of the features on the unit while it's starting up. So this has a custom image from Sudo Mod. It allows the screen to work, all the buttons to work, because there's a custom PCB underneath all this 3D printed material. It has a micro charging port on the front and an on and off switch, but Retro Gaming Now actually added another micro USB to the front so you could plug in a keyboard and set your Wi-Fi up, or you could plug in a USB to transfer your ROMs from that. So it does have a rechargeable battery, and it's a 1200 mAh 3.7 volt lithium polymer battery that can be charged from the port on the front. I'm not sure how long the battery will last in a full-on gaming session, but I've had this on for about 3.5 hours with no indication of it shutting down anytime soon. I've been messing around with all types of emulators on here and loading games on it, so I'm not sure exactly how long the battery will last, but from previous experience, I believe it's going to be 4 to 6 hours depending on what you're doing with the Pi. So I got a clean slate here. I just loaded some ROMs on it and the Pixel TFT theme because I dig this theme a lot. It works really well with these small screens, and this is a 2.4-inch screen. It's a bright little screen, looks great in person. I know the camera's not going to do it justice, but this isn't an IPS display or anything like that. It's a 2.4-inch LCD screen, and it looks amazing for being inside of an Altoid can. That's how I can explain it to you. I'm going to go ahead and find a game to test out real quick, so I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Just started up Battletoads for the SNES. Now this is running the Raspberry Pi Zero W, so it's not going to be able to play PlayStation and things like that, but Neo Geo using Pi FBA is totally usable on here. And we do have two shoulder buttons on the back. These are two micro switches, and they work fine for L and R. It also has A, B, X, Y, a directional pad, and start and select on the front. We'll just get into this game real quick and see how it performs on the Pi Zero W. Alright, getting to some gameplay here. So the buttons are kind of small. They are DS buttons, but they're perfect size for a little tiny Minty Pi like this. I know you can't see the screen too well. I have it at an angle, but everything's working great. The buttons are very responsive. And if you want to quit, you just press start and select. Brings you back to the RetroPi or emulation station menu. So overall, this is a sweet piece of kit here. I love this little thing, fits right in your pocket. If you're worried about scratching it up, you can always replace the tin if you can cut those USB ports out perfectly, and I know that's going to be a tough job to do. I want to give a big shout out to Retro Gaming Now, and I want to let you guys know that I am not paid or endorsed by them in any way. They sent me this for review, and I'm very grateful for it. So now I want to take you over to their website so we can check out what they do offer. Hopefully in the future, they'll be selling these kits on their website, or you can try to source the parts yourself and build it yourself. So here's Retro Gaming Now's website. I want to stress this before we go any further. I am not paid or endorsed by them in any way. They sent me the Minty Pi for review, and like I said, I'm very grateful for it, so I would like to show you guys what they do offer on their website. So I went over this, and they actually make some really cool stuff. This is Retro Gaming Now, the RGN Pro W. We're going to click here to explore the new version. Fully hand-built, custom ready-to-play system, 3.5 full-color screen, ABXY buttons on front, LR triggers on the back. This is a custom Raspberry Pi Game Boy. As you can see, the 4 buttons on the front, and you can also customize your system straight from them. So Retro Gaming Now does not ship any ROMs with their systems at all. It's $349 for a custom-built Raspberry Pi Game Boy. It's called the RGN Pro W. 16GB card, which would be plenty for a Raspberry Pi Zero. You can choose your shell color from original to airbrush custom. So for me, I'd want a white. Button color, let's see what we got. Original red, black, custom request. I would want something like sky blue and pink buttons, something like that on a white shell. I think that would look amazing. So it's $349 for a fully built Raspberry Pi Zero Game Boy, their RGN Pro W. If you're not interested in buying a fully built system, I completely understand. You can go out and build one cheaper, but there are a lot of people out there that don't want the hassle. This is a great option for you guys. So that's it for this video, guys. I really appreciate you watching. This Minty Pi is super sweet. If you can get a hold of one of these, definitely do it if you have to build it or buy a fully built one itself. It's definitely an awesome project, and it's a really sweet handheld retro console. If you guys could, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more great content. And like always, thanks for watching.